Hi nettle fans, welcome to Galloway. This is southwest Scotland and I'm Mark from Galloway Wild Foods, and I'm going to talk to you about how to make a cocktail with nettles. It's called a nettle gimlet. A gimlet is a traditional gin-based cocktail that used to be served at sea, and it was a way of giving sailors extra vitamin C. It was named after a small device that was used to tap into the barrels of alcohol called a gimlet, and it sounds a bit dodgy, doesn't it? And the officers would have a gin and lime based drink, whereas the ratings and the lower orders would have had a rum and lime based drink. And that's where that famous Rose's lime cordial originated. So that was actually a way of getting vitamin C into sailors. So the gimlet cocktail originated from that. I'm just going to show you how to make it. Only we're going to make it with nettles instead of lime. So we've got lots of fresh nettles here, and we're going to make a syrup with those. Really simple cocktail, only really has 2 ingredients. I've also dried some nettles, because the really fascinating thing about nettles is that fresh ones have a slightly different flavour, especially when you make them into a syrup, than dried ones. The dried ones come out like peach iced tea, I kid you not, and the other ones come out like deep and kind of still some sort of fruity kind of quality to them, but more savoury as well. So we're going to have a play around and I'll show you how to make a simple syrup and then put the cocktail together. Let's go. Syrups are the simplest thing in the world. You just need one part sugar. I just use kind of plain white sugar, caster sugar would do. I use an organic kind of one, so it comes a bit brown, looks a bit brown. And the same quantity of water. That's called a simple syrup. No plants go in at this stage. And then that goes on your stove. And we're away. I'm glad of that. It might look quite sunny here, but it's actually about -2 today in Galloway. Just stir your syrup as it goes and just make sure all the sugar gets dissolved. As that's happening, you can start to throw in your nettles. I'm using the tops of the nettles. You don't have to worry too much about the slightly wiry stalks, because this is a syrup you're making, so you're going to kind of filter all that out anyway. So if you were cooking and making a salad, you might want to nip off a little bit of that fibrous stalk. But yeah, these are just going to go in as they are. I'm fairly immune, so you might want to wear gloves. How many nettles? Well, if you want a really strong syrup, add loads. Loads of flavour. If you want to keep it lighter, just a few. Use your own judgment on that. And then just continue to heat that until all the sugar's dissolved and the nettles start to infuse their flavour into it. Lovely, lovely rich nettles. Nettles and sugar. Seems a bit wrong, doesn't it? So a syrup is simple. It's just sugar, water, and whatever you want to flavour it with. If you want to make it into a cordial, which is a bit sharper, you want to add something acidic. Now you could do that with a little twist of vinegar. The usual thing to use is lemon juice. I actually use ascorbic acid, or you could use powdered citric acid as well. And this is just literally powdered, and it's got that real fizzy, sharp flavour. Might sound a bit weird, but actually from this jar it's about 200 lemons. So think about the food miles. So while my nettles are infusing into that syrup, add the ascorbic acid. How much? It's just a matter of taste with this really. How acidic would you like your cordial to be? I'm going to start off with 1 bar spoon and give it a stir. And this is a kind of fun bit, because you can just taste. And because it's just for you, you're allowed to dip your finger in it as well. Now remember, now the nettles are cooked, there's no danger of stinging anyway. The heat puts paid to all of that. Ooh, that's getting good. I'm going to put another bar spoon in here. Okay, so our nettles are infused lots of their flavour into the syrup. We've added our ascorbic or citric acid, and we're ready to strain. was that? Did you expect nettle cordial would come out that beautiful bright orange colour? Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? So there we are, that's our nettle cordial. Isn't that a beautiful colour? Quite surprising. I think it's a combination of things. I think nettles have this rusty colour in them. I think it possibly because they're so iron rich, but they do show a lot of purple at different times of year, especially if they're a little bit stressed. It's been very cold lately when I picked these, so they can be a bit purple. And I think that, and combined with the ascorbic acid, just kind of sets this beautiful colour. Isn't it absolutely stunning? The flavour's great too. So now we're going to make our gimlet, so we're just going to build that into the glass.
Stand by for action.
Cheers.